Hola, carteros galácticos. Salimos ahora mismo del panel más importante de esta Star Wars Celebration 2023, el Lucasfilm Studio Showcase, y ha venido cargadísimo de novedades. Vamos a poder entrevistar a algunos de los presentes en ese arranque de la Celebration que, bueno, tenemos el regreso de Daisy Ridley, ya hablaremos al respecto de pues, los protagonistas de Skeleton Crew, todas las novedades de Ahsoka, tenemos por fin confirmación de Hera, demasiadas cosas que repasaremos en próximos vídeos, pero lo importante, vamos a hablar con Filoni, vamos a poder entrevistar a Jon Favreau, los protagonistas de Mandalorian, de Skeleton Crew, de The Acolyte. También tendremos a el cast de Andor, así que preparaos para viajar a una galaxia muy muy lejana con nosotros y disfrutar de todo lo que se viene en Star Wars, que es telita. Hi, I'm Berta from Carteleras P.
Nice to meet you. Hola.
Nice to meet
¿Cómo estás?
Genial, ¿cómo estás tú?
No.
Are you enjoying your first time here, surrounded by fans and in costume? It's really great that you did that. I mean it.
Thanks. Yeah, of course I am. I had so much fun going out onto the floor earlier, and nobody realized that I was from a show because I was cosplaying, which I was kind of hoping would be the case, like I would blend in.
Very incognito.
I was successful. I was. Yes, I was like, obviously, I was in plain sight, but hiding, yeah.
First of all, I want to say I'm so glad you're doing Star Wars because you need a strong leader in a Star Wars series, and I think you have some fresh ideas that I really want to see.
Yeah.
You have said in the panel that the Acolyte is like a Frozen meets Kill Bill, and then you mentioned Kurosawa. So now I want to know more about that.
Well, I heard in an interview, I think it was Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni, they talked about how when you get to work in the Star Wars universe, you don't want to just pull from Star Wars, you want to pull from what George pulled from, you know, like, and so obviously a lot of the films, oh my God.
It's getting crowded.
I love him so much.
Love you so much.
This is my guy right here. This is Charlie Barnett. So, of course, when I watched The Mandalorian, I saw all of the references to the westerns, like Yojimbo, you know, like like Fistful of Dollars, and like all those other kinds of things. So I thought to myself, I was like, well, a genre that hasn't really been popped out in Star Wars quite yet are those martial arts films, are the samurai films, Yojimbo, Hidden Fortress, and it was also very helpful for me to think about the film that way because there are no intergalactic problems during my time period. Like there isn't a war where ships will be firing on each other. So then it was like, oh, well, now it has to become what those films are about, like Touch of Zen and Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon. Those films are about like schools of thought, like schools of fighting, you know, like philosophies and deep relationships between master and pupil, you know, father-daughter, you know, sister-sister, you know, any of that stuff. So that's why I went in that particular direction, and I hope that's exciting to everybody.
I want to know how it is for you jumping into Star Wars, and what can you tell me about your character?
스타워즈는 뭐 저도 어렸을 때 워낙 팬이었었고 그 이후로도 쭉 팬인 그런 영화고 그런 작품입니다. 어렸을 때서부터 지금까지 스타워즈를 생각하면 굉장히 많은 추억과 많은 그런 호기심과 또 감동까지도 있는 그런 저 개인적으로도 굉장히 추억이 오래 쌓이고 있는 그런 작품이거든요. 근데 그런 작품에 제가 참여를 할 수 있다는 것은 너무나도 흥분되고 믿을 수 없는 일이죠. 그리고 또 지금 매일매일 그런 흥분되는 현장에서 열심히 촬영하고 있고요.
¿Qué me puedes decir de tu personaje en The Acolyte?
Ella es una persona que tiene muchos problemas con el mundo. Y ella viene de un país muy interesante que no hemos visto antes.
You have like already a strong friendship with Daphne. Is that because your characters have like a storyline together, or can you tell me a bit about that?
Man, this is a hard one to go about. I want to tell you so much. Daphne and I work together, I'll say that. There's a little bit of butting heads, I'll say that. So I think it maybe made us establish as more friends on the outside. We had a lot of fun filming this. And I know to the end of time, I love that girl. I'm gonna always be her big brother.
What's the hard part of exploring that new era?
I think the hardest part is feeling like you can't lean on any legacy characters. You know, you can't lean on the things that you know the audience will immediately recognize, like a stormtrooper. You know, like when you see a stormtrooper, you're like, institutional threat, and then you get it and you understand it. And so we had to create, my designers and I, my heads of department, who are all brilliant, incredible people, they had to create their own language, essentially. Now, that didn't mean that we completely threw anything out. We took a lot from the High Republic novels. We designed the Jedi robes off of them. I think that the High Republic fans are going to be really happy with what Jennifer Bryan has done with our costumes, and yet also marrying them with what we're eventually going to see when we get to Phantom Menace. So the design choices were difficult because you wanted them to feel authentic and correct, but at the same time new and quickly identifiable. Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I hope that was helpful.
It's my new favorite series. I'm really excited.
Oh,
thank you so much. What can you tell me about, showing different things and jumping far away from the Skywalkers and all of that?
You know what's really cool about this as a fan too? We get to, because it's a High Republic, because it's such a high caliber moment for the Jedi, and their kind of rule of the galaxy. I say that lightly. We get to see a variety. We get to see a wide variety of these people. They don't fill into one stereotype. They really get to expand, as we all, as human beings, get to see how different, even our brothers and sisters can be. I'm really drawn into that and thrilled to see how the fans respond.
¿Cómo ha sido ese rodaje en Valencia y disfrutar también de usar un poquito de España? No solo el rodaje de Andor, que ya tiene que ser muy espectacular, sino...
Sí, estábamos en Valencia, estuvimos 3 semanas filmando en Valencia, fue maravilloso. Como te dije, ya al final ya no me cerraba el pantalón, la comida, pero sobre todo la gente y la oportunidad de filmar en un lugar donde la luz pega tan bonita, ¿no? Todos regresamos felices, nos cayó muy bien salir un rato. A mí estar en un lugar donde hablo el mismo idioma, y recibir a toda la gente que trabajó con nosotros, ¿no? Porque sí, salimos muchísimos de aquí de Londres a filmar allá, pero también el equipo creció con mucha gente de España y de América Latina que se sumó, y agradecerles a todas y a todos el trabajo. Es un muy bonito lugar, yo no conocía Valencia, es muy bonito y se come maravilloso. Es una ciudad que se puede caminar, tiene un tamaño muy cómodo. Yo agradecí cada segundo ahí. Además aquí no salía el sol, llevábamos 3 meses bajo una nube y fue tan bonito que nos pegara un poquito el sol.
Me alegro de que disfrutases muchísimo en Valencia. Gracias por esta segunda ronda.
No, feliz, un abrazo a todos y a todas en Valencia y gracias por recibirnos. Y también un abrazo a la gente en España sobre todo ha hecho que este show, que Andor, se posicione, ¿no? Hay mucha gente que en España pues ha apoyado de muchísimas formas nuestro show y yo les agradezco porque es bonito saber que lo que haces pues va dejando ahí una huella, ¿no? Y te digo, en España nos trataron muy bien.
We're at a point like I don't know what's going on with your character. Finally, Kino can swim. What are we gonna watch in the next season?
Let's put it this way: he's still alive. He's still alive, and he's on Narkina 5 working out his next move. So that's as far as I can tell you at the moment.
Your character shows like a different side of an imperial because he's conflicted and also he's experiencing when the empire doesn't care about anyone. Are we going to see your character struggle in this way in the next season, or he's going to, get a better position in the empire?
He moves out of his mother's apartment.
That's a big step. That's a big
It's a
step.
big step, right? It's a big transition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grief, a lot of he has to process. No. I mean, it's a very good point. Like that whole side of the empire, that whole side of the storytelling was something that attracted me to the job anyway, because as you say, this empire is kind of fat and bloated and sure of itself, but it's also not the empire that you meet in A New Hope. It's very, I don't know, it's just sort of not quite as strong. And the rebellion doesn't even exist yet. And then you get these very domestic, mundane, I don't know, like boring business like workers who are like, I don't know. And so in season 2, Cyril is on the up, where you leave him in season 1 in that cupboard with Dedra in the little broom closet in the middle of a riot.
I want to talk about that.
We can talk about that. Okay. So much, he's primed for so much. And I think Cyril's a real fighter, and I think he actually always gets what he wants. It just takes him a while. He's pretty dogged, he's pretty obsessive. And
He's persistent.
He's pretty persistent. That's a more positive way to say
persistent.
He's a stalker. Yeah. But it's, so his station increases in season 2. He's on the up, and things are moving for him in a really interesting way. And I've been saying that season 2, for every single character, it's harder, it's better, it's faster, it's stronger. It's the Daft Punk song, and it's intense. But with these time jumps that we have to make in order to carry up to the beginning of Rogue One, there's a lot that we cover, and it's good.
Maybe he's going to be a rebel.
He most definitely would be a rebel. I mean, what was so beautiful about what Tony has written is that he was a character that was, before he was incarcerated in Narkina 5, he was a man who was a rebel of sorts, in that he was he led his workers in disputes and would fight on their behalf, which is why the authorities imprisoned him in the first place. So he had that spirit of rebellion in him always, which was then crushed and then reignited when he comes across Cassian Andor. And so he, I mean, that I think in some way might be a journey that we might take with him.
That scene you mentioned with Dedra, some fans think there's something going on there. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't want that. I want Dedra to do her own thing.
Yeah.
And your character, I think it has an arc, and really interesting arc, positioning in the Empire, getting a better position in the Empire. So I think that relationship, but
it's
I don't know.
So hard to talk about. But what is amazing is what I can say is that Tony Gilroy and what he's created, I think it gives, what can I say? Oh, that's so hard. The amazing thing about Tony's writing is that he creates these characters that you really understand and are fully faceted, but operate in this gray area. And you want them to achieve, everybody's on their solo mission. You want them to achieve what they're going to achieve. And then when you have a meeting like that between two of these quite strange, difficult characters, would it even be possible for them to get together? Like, what would that even look like? I can't even picture it. I mean, a lot of weird positions. I don't know. But what I can say is that they both need something from the other. And that isn't necessarily a relationship. They both have the same objective, which is capturing Cassian. And I think they both understand that they're stronger together. And so, however that looks, we'll see.
Bo-Katan is getting to a very juicy place, but I'm guessing we're going to pick some bumps in the road, or it's going to go great.
I mean, you'll just have to wait and see, right? We have 2 episodes left, and they're action-packed and filled with some amazing things. So you'll just have to wait and see.
What are your hopes for Bo-Katan as the leader of Mandalore? What is it that you want as an actor that's been in this journey with this character from animation to live action?
It's what's amazing to me now is that she's coming at it from a different place, and she's looking not to rule but to lead, and she's also leaning on the armor. And I think that she's finally realized from a place of humility that that she can't do it alone.
We've watched a little bit in the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase panel, and I've seen a character that we've already met.
Very good.
Yes, in The Mandalorian, Bane. So there's already a connection there. Is everything's going to be connected like that?
Yeah, I think that the trick is to make it connected. So if people like you who have, who are watching and looking for the connections, that they're there. But especially a show like Skeleton Crew, because it's told through the eyes of these young kids who are living in Star Wars suburbs, you should be able to come in as a new audience member, a new viewer, a young viewer, and not be required to have watched everything else. It's just like with The Mandalorian, people came into that show not knowing. It was one of those things where it didn't hurt the experience if you had not been paying attention to Star Wars since the beginning. But if you did, it's a richer experience, and there's something in it for you, so that at the end of the day, we've got our core fans that have been with Star Wars, and you want to reward those fans for that commitment that they've made.
The fans were really anxious to know about the next films, Star Wars films, and we're finally here. What can we know? What can you tell me about the next Star Wars film?
What I already said, that it's a film about the first Jedi and the dawn of the Force, 25,000 years before Episode 4. You could call it Star Wars Episode 0 if you want, but it's about the beginning. And the trick is, I know fans want to know more, but they really don't. They want to know more, but they really just want to see the movie. And because real fans don't want to know everything before they see the movie.
Finally, we're getting new movies, new Star Wars movies, but I think I speak for most of the Star Wars fans. Finally, we got you as a lead of an live-action Star Wars movie. So how is going to be dealing with everything? You are the creative Lucasfilm boss, like sure. Kevin Feige, maybe? I don't know. Explain that to me.
It's a lot, but it doesn't fall just on me. There's a whole group of us, and led by Katee, and she's doing such a great job and has really fostered me along the way into the position I'm at. And I look at it as a big collaboration. One of my strengths along the way has been listening and being in a position to get to hear the teachings of George and Katee and people like John, and then I try to apply that and spread it out to everybody. So, I'm fortunate to get this opportunity to make a movie, but I'm going to learn watching James do his thing, and learn watching Charmaine do her thing, and it's just going to feed what I do. So while I am perhaps helping other people, I get to be in this position to learn and learn and learn. And all the episodic directors I've worked with in live action, have taught me things, or I've observed things. And same could be said for my animation team. I got the privilege of making many, 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 many episodes, trial and error, to see what worked, what didn't work, what fans liked, what maybe they didn't like as much. So here I am. I never thought I'd be doing it this long, but I love it, and it doesn't feel any less exciting than when I began. And each new thing is more exciting, and then the people that come in, and how can you not look at that stage today and if you're a Star Wars fan, not be excited? I mean, the moment when Daisy came out was such an incredible moment.
Crazy. Whoa!
so exciting to see and to be on stage and feel that, you know, coming to the audience for her was just a really special thing. So, yeah, it's great. It reminds me of what I love about Star Wars, and it's going to be a lot coming up, and I think we'll deliver.
Thank you so much, Dave. I'm a fan. This moment has been like, I will treasure it.
No, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care.